He shouldn't have made that final phone call. Only the ticking of the clock could be heard in the courtroom. Journalists were frozen with their pens in hand. Even the security officers stood perfectly still. This was not just a verdict day. This was the day someone's life would close and someone else's would begin. The judge closed the final folder. "Defendant, do you have a final statement?" The courtroom held its breath. The defendant, Marcus Lee, 41 years old. The charges: large-scale financial fraud, digital signature forgery, causing investors to lose $18 million if found guilty. 25 years in prison. For 3 months, Marcus had barely spoken. He repeated only one sentence: "I was not alone." But he had never mentioned a name. That day, he lifted his head. "May I make one phone call?" A whisper spread across the room. The judge watched him for a long moment. 1 minute. When the phone was placed in his hand, Marcus's fingers were trembling. He dialed the number from memory. First ring. Second. On the third, someone answered. "It's you," he whispered. The courtroom fell completely silent. "Are the files safe?" Marcus asked. The voice on the phone replied, "I deleted everything. They won't find anything." The prosecutor jumped to his feet. "This is a confession!" The room erupted in noise. Even Marcus's attorney was shocked. He had not expected those words. But Marcus did not end the call. He added quietly, "You promised. If I was arrested, you wouldn't leave my daughter alone. You said you'd take care of her, but you forgot your promise before anything even happened." The voice on the phone went silent, then answered softly, "You should have stayed quiet." At that moment, the door at the back of the courtroom opened. 2 investigators walked in, tablets in their hands. "Your Honor, this call was redirected to our system." The courtroom was stunned. It turned out the phone had connected directly to the internal server of the financial company. The number belonged to Marcus's former director. A message appeared on the screen. "This conversation has been recorded." The prosecutor smiled. "The evidence is ready." But the defense attorney slowly stood up. "Your Honor, that number belongs to a man who died 3 months ago." A cold silence filled the room. The judge raised his head. "How?" The attorney showed the tablet. "The company director died in a car accident 3 months ago. That number was officially deactivated." So then, who had Marcus been talking to? An IP address appeared on the screen. It did not come from the company. It came from the prosecutor's building. The courtroom exploded. The prosecutor's face turned pale. "That's impossible." Hours later, the truth emerged. An employee inside the prosecutor's office had accessed the company's servers and manipulated the evidence. He had framed Marcus as the culprit while protecting the real organizers. With that single phone call, Marcus had not exposed himself. He had exposed them. The verdict was announced. Marcus was acquitted of the main charges. The case was reopened. Several high-ranking officials were arrested. The courtroom slowly emptied. Everyone thought it was over. But Marcus did not leave immediately. He looked quietly at the phone lying on the table. The last dialed number was still glowing on the screen. He didn't call again. He didn't delete it either. He simply stared. His attorney approached. "You're free." Marcus nodded slowly. "Yes, but late." Outside, reporters were waiting. "Do you consider yourself innocent? Who do you think organized this? What will you do now?" Marcus said only one sentence. Sometimes acquittal isn't victory. As he got into the car, he looked at his phone one last time. A notification appeared. "Number unavailable." He closed his eyes. The person he had called had not died 3 months ago, but 2 weeks ago, and the number had been reactivated that very day, which meant someone had been waiting for that exact moment.